We tend to think of like we in a place where even though we can connect to so many people so quickly with a push of a button, I think we're more separated than we've ever been in human history. And when it comes to like the entertainment industry, a lot of times we tend to put them on different pedestals than we are.
First thing about accountability, I believe in this day and age, is people have to learn to worry about holding themselves accountable instead of holding everybody else accountable for something.
What's the old church saying? What's the old church saying? What is it? Sweep around y'all. Sweep around y'all.
Front door before you try and sweep around mine.
What's up, Alphas? It's your boy Alphas. I'm May looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And it's Man Cave.
Feel like you sued.
One day everybody will get used to it, bro. Yeah, it's better. Like I said last week, it's better than half the stuff I did to Joe. Like I be yelling and screaming. Joe, we getting back to it soon. Joe, keeping that now coming back soon. Let the people know.
Just said you used to wax that camera real nice.
I don't know what that means, man.
I don't know. Yo, do I need to make this like is that sensitive? Is that, I don't know, YouTube, do y'all know what that means? Because I do not. But yeah, Keeping That Nine might be back as a live show with the old crew. We're going to see if we get it back live on YouTube. We got to figure out what day we're going to do it, but it's going to be fun. Joe's so busy. How you doing today, Unico, to my right?
I'm well, man. It gets no blacker than Black Friday, and that's, you know, I'm preparing for that. I got a lot of stuff going on, being in the I don't know, selling stuff industry, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, we preparing for that. Long hours, but we here. I'm at Man Cave. Where I'm at.
We Man Cave.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
You know it's Wednesday.
That being said.
There we go.
By the way, today's episode about accountability. You know what I mean? Accountability. Be accountable.
Oh, also with that being said, then.
Yeah, and that means do not go out there like that guy did, Seth Rollins, over PS5, because I know they're finally in stock. They're finally in stock.
So I'm saying that's Queen Split, man. I was told it was Queen Split. It was really Queen Split. I mean, he had on the foams. I mean, the shoes was on point. That looks like and they was in New York. There's a very good possibility that really was Queen's Flip, and I'm here for it.
Well, I hope you know that the last dude that did that got 2 years in prison, because WWE do not drop charges for.
I was going to say they prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
And let me be an accountable host and move on. Up top, we have the one, the only Monray. How you doing today, Monray?
Representative for the Brother Dudes back again to drop some heat, give you some of that hot fire in this warm, in this cold day. Ready to eat, ready to eat some Thanksgiving food, can't wait. But until then, ready to let you know what it is.
Chitlins dropping this week.
By the way, happy early Thanksgiving. Joe said that because he knows right now that we are literally a day, like we a day away, and he know we in Mississippi, so now he trying to tell us to get chilling. No, Joe, everybody from Mississippi don't do chilling.
Y'all weird.
I thought that was a down south thing. I thought y'all was all about that.
That's old people.
The hog entrails.
I
old people.
Tacos and stuff last time I was in Mississippi, so it's mad woke in Mississippi now. So it used to be, on a Saturday, they used to have a crab boil going, or what I'm saying, stuff like that going on, fish fries, all that. Nah, we had hibachis and all that. So
everybody got a luxury food truck now.
I miss the old Mississippi, but go ahead, man.
Man, you can go out there, hunt you a boar, get you a pig.
Oh wow!
Go out there and raise it. Ain't that what y'all doing, Monticello? Ain't that what y'all doing? Y'all raise pigs?
Find that in Clinton, though.
Y'all raise pigs in Monticello?
They walking downtown Jackson got boars walking around still, so ain't much change.
All right, and to the top, right up there, we have the one, the only. It's to December 19th. It's still at a local friendly neighborhood scumbag.
Yes, your friendly local neighborhood scumbag checking in, talking crazy. You already know the same MO.
So you still hate Peter Parker?
Forever and always. That nigga's a loser.
Wow.
All right, back to you, YouTube. All right, but yeah, man. Today's episode of Man Cave is about accountability, being accountable, being held accountable, allowing people to be held accountable over our decisions as men. Holding on to accountability. I feel like a big part of being a man is acknowledging your accountability and taking precedence over your own life. I just did a YouTube video about a director saying it's everybody else's fault. Nobody wanted to watch his movie. If y'all want to watch that, you can watch it yesterday. A dude's really mad, by the way. The guy was really mad. Joe, did you see the guy really mad?
I didn't.
It's in the Man Cave thing. Dude was upset. Dude basically said, F your whole catalog. I was ready to watch House of Gucci, but I ain't watching that.
I ain't checking now. Ridley Scott, you lost a fan.
And then he said, "Really? Hey, YouTube, I'm not cussing. We out here. You can give me that green. Every one of Joe's do you hear me glare to get a yellow tick mark? So we trying to bring it back to the green. They do not like your topic, Joe.
That's because
I just want to say
Joe got to let him hear it.
The reason I missed that is because that is just a wrestling fan, and I just randomly peek in there, and that's why I missed it.
All you hear me is get the yellow chick, Joe. This is like they do not like your topic. At least they let you talk on your topics. Facebook mutes you, Joe. So you gonna be accountable for Facebook muting you?
We ain't trying to hear that.
No.
All right, but yeah, this show is about accountability, being accountable, holding your friends accountable, you being yourself accountable, holding your men. What would you call it? Your men necessities accountable, not cheating, doing etc. I know it's hard, but you got to be accountable for your actions. Oh, a lot of gaslighting from everybody. A lot of like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gaslight. We out here gaslighting. You got everybody did it. Everybody gaslight a little bit. Every once in a while to somebody in your life.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, you didn't gaslight it. I'm pretty. You might not think about it. You might consider you didn't gaslight in your life, but we all gaslighted. Like you always like, hey, it's your fault I did this.
Everybody got an ex you can go holler at about gaslighting.
Yeah, and that's not just men. It's women too. Y'all gaslight too. Let's not pretend like everybody not around here trying not to take accountability for their actions because it's easier to get off on it. But work, doing what you need to do as a man, holding your household, doing the things you need to do. If you can't afford this, budgeting, all those different things, you gotta be accountable for it. You gotta be, as I say, a man for it. Not in the way that people try to use it to manipulate you and gaslight you too, but in an accountable way. You have to be accountable in your actions, the things you do in every part of your life, from work, family, friends. My one thing about me is I always said, if I promise you I'm gonna do it, I always do it, because I had to hold myself accountable, because I don't want to become that person who just says he's gonna do things and don't do it. So when people like Trip, Zale, you try everything. I'm like, I said I was gonna do it. I want to hold myself accountable to what I say. I don't want to live a life where I'm not accountable, that I didn't try. Whether it's starting a nonprofit and partnering with NASA or doing anything, I'm gonna go out there and try. It might not be the most successful, but I'm holding myself accountable to do the things I love. To do YouTube. I love doing this. I love being with these guys. I said on Twitter that I love being with Joe, Kid Credit Player, Bree, Montay, Tori, Craig, whenever he's on, whoever else is on. When I do it with Trey Miller, I love doing this. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I want to be successful. So I gotta understand, hey, Zaya, do these videos you don't want to do. And I've been doing them. I'm still a little rusty, Joe. I'm a little rusty, you know what I'm saying? Montay, I'm a little rusty. I'm getting back into it. I didn't like the first one at all, but I did it. Didn't like the second one as much. This one I liked a little better, but it's still a little rusty. I'm not used to just talking by myself. I'm used to these conversation pieces now because I ain't did like that talking by myself in a couple months outside of a few random videos. But I got to hold myself accountable because I'm like, I got to grow this channel. So I got to do my thing. So I want to know your thoughts on it. So I'm going to start with Montay. Montay, what are your thoughts on accountability as a man? Because I know people like hearing your thoughts, especially on TikTok. They love Montay thoughts on TikTok when I put it up.
Huh?
TikTok love your commentary every time I put one of these videos up.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, well, I got to get on TikTok, bro. I really be lazy when I told myself and be starting on that. See, that's one thing about accountability right there. I'd be lazy right there when I say I'm going to start.
There you go.
That's one thing right there. First thought I had when thinking about accountability is, first you need to know yourself, like your limits, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you gotta be willing to be honest with yourself about that, man. Like, we come to be accountable. It's hard for me to hold myself accountable for something if I'm not being honest in knowing what I can and can't do, or like, you know, what my limits are, like what's actually what I put on me versus like what I want to put on other people and all that kind of stuff. Like, I gotta be real with myself when it comes to being accountable, because otherwise, you know, it ain't gonna really be no way to keep myself accountable for anything if I'm just not honest enough to be like, hey, Cody, this was my fault, or this is something that I'm supposed to be doing, or something that I hold myself to this standard. And if I'm not able to or willing to do any of that kind of stuff, ain't no way I can be accountable to myself or to anybody else. Period. There's just no way it's gonna happen. That's all. Like I say, like, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and be honest with yourself about what they are. A lot of people, like, we in a world, man, where cap is everywhere. That is the word of 2020, 2021, going into 2022. Cap is the word of the year. I promise you. And there's a lot of people that just is full of cap, man. I was talking about that earlier with some people, man. Like, just the amount of cap in this world is crazy, man. People love representing or pretending to be about something that they're really not. And us as men, you know, even for women too and everybody, you can't do that. You cannot, and you really don't need to just represent or like be about something that you're not really about. Like, be accountable to yourself. Be like, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I think. These are the values that I hold dear to myself. Like, this is what it is, and like, stick to that. That's the first thing to be accountable, is that you have to be accountable to yourself or who you are. Before you can never be accountable for any goals or anything you're trying to do. First, you gotta say, I'm gonna be accountable to me. Like, be true to myself, be real to myself. And if I can't do that, there's no way I can be accountable for any goals, anything else I'm trying to do in my life. And just don't be a part of this. I say, don't be a part of this catfishing world. No, don't be a part of the catfishing world out here in the media, man. Don't do it. Don't just because, you know, everybody trying to flow with the river, man. Don't be trying to go down the river too without seeing where that river leads to, man. Please don't do that, man. Just first take a look out there and be like, okay, let me see what all this is going to. Is that really who I am? Is that really what I want to be a part of? Is that really what I want to represent? Is that really true to me? That's the first step of accountability I can think of. First, let me see, is that me? Is that something I'm willing to represent, be a part of, to show myself forth as, and go forward from there? It's the first thing I can think of in accountability. Like, just, is that me?
Yeah, that is true. Being accountable to yourself, being accountable, knowing who you are as a person, being accountable to who you want to be, the person you train to be, the person you thriving to be. So that is a big point in accountability. Big up to the local neighborhood scumbag. Friendly local neighborhood scumbag. I'm very, since people love, I say people love Montay on TikTok. I know people want to hear what you got to say on this topic. So, Tor,
the king of Twitter himself.
I feel like Montay he hit it on the head when it comes to accountability. The first thing about accountability, I believe in this day and age is people have to learn to worry about holding themselves accountable instead of holding everybody else accountable for something. Because that seems to be the big problem. There's a rise in people wanting to take accountability, but there's a rise in people wanting to hold other people accountable for stuff that doesn't involve them, that doesn't remotely affect them. So the thing about accountability is there's a time and a place for it. And we just got to figure out the time and the place. It's a good thing that people are willing to do it, but you got to pick your shots, man. I'm all for it. Like I said, everyone, not to be the broken record, but everybody's got to hold themselves accountable at some point in time. But at the same time, you got to be willing not to just try and hold everybody accountable for everything, because I feel like that's how you get lost in the virtue signaling and the goddamn button pressing and all that. It's all, I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you said about this, or I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you did here. But at the same time, you holding everybody else accountable, you ducking and dodging the accountability bullets headed your way. So, learn how to hold yourself accountable before you try to hold other people accountable for things that don't involve you. Is the message for this one.
So. Before we get to Joe, Joe, what's the old church saying? What's the old church saying? What is it? Sweep around
Joe got a
y'all.
million of those.
Sweep around y'all.
Front door before you try and sweep around mine.
Yeah. So
there we go. I ain't know that one, but that one works.
Yeah, that's
like it actually made me think about it. Wasn't they're trying to change right now in New York. Either in New York or LA right now, they're trying to change the law on whether or not you can use a rapper's music in court, which I think is a big part of it that ties in greatly to accountability. You know what I mean? We're trying to hold these rappers accountable for the lyrics of songs, even though we know that a lot of these lyrics aren't true, to say the least. So as far as it comes to accountability, like I said, learn how to hold yourself accountable before you go trying to hold everybody else accountable. But yeah,
sweep around your own front porch before you sweep around mine. Unico, your thoughts on accountability. Then we're gonna talk about a subject that's just recently happened. We're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Accountability. I mean, to me, it's you're responsible for something. Whether it goes right or wrong, you just accept accountability for it. Like it was me. It was me. So that's pretty much what accountability is. Even when it might hurt you to do that in some form or facet. Like my project was late. That's on me. But I can't go around saying, man, my project was late because I did this or I did that, or this happened, that happened. You just gotta say, man, shoot, it was late. It was late. I might have a valid excuse for why it was late, but it's
at the end of the day,
you just take accountability for it. You can say I cheated on you because I miss my grandma. That's not taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say I cheated on you because I cheated on you. So it goes a lot of.
I'm gonna use that one someday. Thank you, Joe. That one's coming.
You're welcome. So
my brother.
It's that's what taking accountability is. Like at the end of the day, what did you do wrong? And it's not about the whys and the hows. Just I did this wrong. And you can always come back around and say I'll try and make it right. But other than that, there's got to be a whole bunch of I statements when it comes to accountability. I did this or I didn't do that when I was supposed to. So that's accountability to me. It's saying what was your part in whatever happened when people were dependent on you, or if something goes wrong, what did you do? What was your part? What part did you play in that? And that's accountability to me. So, saying it was me, like Mojo Jojo did when it turned out that he made the Powerpuff Girls. It was me. It was me. It was me. I am the reason I'm in the struggle all the time.
So basically, Do the opposite of what Shaggy told us to do for all them years.
Or Vince
Replace
McMahon.
It wasn't me with it was me.
Oh, Tori wrestling fan. Me and Tori wrestling fans. Vince McMahon is leader of the corporate ministry. It was me, Austin.
Yeah. It was me all along.
Oh, son of a.
That's the wrestlers I get down with, the good old days.
Yo, my man was that's one of them that actually got me though. I was like, bro, didn't I see you get beat up by these people every week for like a month, and then you was on team with Austin?
Yeah, I was about to say they stomped him out
Austin
once a week.
That's funny.
It was me the whole time.
That's so fucking funny.
Hey, shout out to Vince McMahon for taking his stance on snitching. Vince McMahon, don't play the snitching game.
He can't.
You don't get rewarded for snitching in the WWE.
Austin Theory took accountability and gave it back after he took his picture.
Yeah, I was just going to say Austin Theory took accountability for stealing that egg and was rewarded with a title shot.
Yeah,
because Vince McMahon don't like snitches.
He told on himself though.
No, Sami Zayn told him.
Well, Sammy told on him to get the title shot, and then Vince was like, "You ain't getting no title shot, snitch. You keep it moving."
Oh my God! Sticking to that old 2008 street code.
Bro,
it's coming. He getting back on camera. He gonna let one fly soon.
We here for that. I might tune back in if Vince is making a comeback.
Yo,
Vince makes everything better on screen because you really don't know what's gonna happen when he's there.
The car might blow up, but Joe said the street code. And it's something I'm gonna bring this up because I thought about it the other day, and it's the accountability episode. It's the perfect episode to do it. I didn't know if we are gonna do another episode, but I was gonna hold this. But today's the accountability episode. So basically, what I realized it's a rapper. We're gonna talk about on tomorrow's show. We're gonna talk about this specifically, but I want to bring up a part from it. A rapper from Memphis, Young Dolph, they ended his life. And
R.I.P.
And something I noticed that I've been noticing a lot is that when entertainers, specifically black, but mostly entertainers, it's some that kind of break that black mold that you just don't see them as black, like Michael Jackson or The Rock, or some people that like make it too big that they don't see them as like black people. They just like
OJ syndrome.
Like they just OJ. Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan or people of that ilk, like they just too big that we just know them from our childhood, so we don't consider them the same. But Young Dolph he's amazing to a lot of people, but he ain't on that level. You still see him as black. He's a rapper, so you see him as that. And the one thing I noticed, and this is not just a black entertainer, this is the most entertainers, but it specifically happened with black entertainers, where people don't treat it as human.
No, I'm so happy you said that, because it's like you devoid all feelings from like somebody dying because they were a rapper. And specifically speaking, it's like if a rapper dies, it's like, oh wow, another rapper. Not this guy had a family or this people loved him. It's like not even the common courtesy you'd show a regular person.
Yeah, it's been like the joke is, look at this other rapper moving out the hood because somebody got like what? Like what? This is just, and I feel like it feels like when entertainers die, it feels like it's like a show. So my shout out to my friend, she on Backseat Gaming, but she stayed at a point, I'm gonna let her tell the story herself, but she stayed at a point where someone said when they was going through something, I ain't gonna tell the story specifically, but she was going through something and she was sad because people would say things about her because of her culture. And that people around her be like, that's a good story, we might get a better grade for an A. And I'm like, that sounds non-human to me. Like, oh, my pain might get us an A, so you don't really care about my pain. You just like, hey, this a good story might give us a better grade. And I thought, how many times have we said something and like everybody like, oh, that might make us some money. Oh, that might do this. I'm like, no, this is real pain. Like we go through this.
Yep. And
then you start wondering, like when we start talking, like, oh, so they not listening. It's a story. It's entertainment to them. It's like, it's just a news article. When black people be like, oh, the justice system is wrong, you be like, oh, it's like a movie. It's like the movie we watched, Joe. All the movies, what's the movie called? I can't think of the movie. It's the old 90s movie. What?
That's so many movies.
It's the lawyer, some burning, right?
Oh, Mississippi Burning?
Yeah, they had lawyers and they like, oh, that's from that movie. That's from that book. I read that when I was little. I'm like, no, that was real. This is real. But no, it's like, I don't have to go through it. But it's entertainment. So when, like Tori said earlier, so when a rapper says something, it's not, if they do tell the truth and they had to go through something, it feels like it's a story more than human. I even find black people doing this now, where it's easy to make a joke about something. And I'm like, we ain't even holding us. In a way, I want to discuss both. Like, when you live that life, you got to be accountable for that life. That is something that happens. And a lot of people are. And us as people, we got to be accountable because we got to realize that's a human too. Like, why are we joking about really serious topics? They say it's to mask the pain, but I don't sense pain in a lot of this stuff. It's just like, it's just a show to us now. And I want to know your thoughts on that. So, Tori, I know you had something to say. We're going to start with you then.
I think at the end of the day, that just comes down to us as a people being desensitized to so much stuff. Like, bruh, there should never be a time, legitimately, if you're a decent person, where you're making a joke about somebody that's just recently died. I don't care whether they were famous, whether they had 1 million followers, whether they had 10 followers, there's some stuff that's just in bad taste. While I'm all for comedians and the right to say whatever you want, freedom of speech, all that, there's a certain amount of human decency that today's culture is just lacking. Like, the amount of jokes that people are willing to throw out about any entertainer, let alone a rapper. Like I said, we've all seen them. When almost any rappers died in the social media age, everyone's seen that tweet or that comment, or, oh, if you'd have been a little bit more about what you rapped about, maybe you'd still be here. Or, oh, if you hadn't have said this, maybe this wouldn't have happened. It's sad because in a day and age where we have the ability to touch so many more people, the energy that we're transferring through that touch 9 times out of 10 is just negative. So it's just, it's literally a case of us just being desensitized, but desensitized to the point to where it really doesn't. It's not even. I'd almost rather it be desensitized to the point where we'd ignore it, because I'd almost rather you ignore it than make fun of it. You know what I mean? It's just really sad. But I mean, what can you do? People are gonna suck. If there's one thing I've learned about life in general, is that 9 times out of 10, unfortunately enough, people are gonna suck. And yeah, it just comes down to that. No one really cares, because if it's not directly affecting you or impacting your life, you're just less inclined to care about it, I suppose.
That is true. One thing, like I said, a lot of people, if they don't live it, it's like entertainment to them. It's like, but some of that's from accountability too, right? Like we do.
But it's only, you notice it's only rappers that we hold accountable for their lyrics, though. It's not any other. In any other genre of music, they could sit there and say all kinds of crazy stuff, and you're not going to be like, oh well, I bet I bet they didn't actually do that, or they didn't do that, or you don't care all like that. It's only in rap where we're like, you're somehow less if your art isn't actually akin to your life, where in any other genre you can talk about whatever and it just be music. It's just that goes back to my earlier point. It's just wanting to hold certain people accountable for certain things and then let other people just fly. Unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, it's just black people that are being forced to be held accountable for it.
Yeah, it seemed like accountability. How much do we put on ourselves? How do we consume? How do we like? Because I'm gonna go to Montay after this, but a lot of these rappers, even the ones that don't live this life, rap it because they know we like it.
That's where
or
the
people
money's at.
like it. So they got to get a gun and act tough and talk crazy when somebody talk to them on the internet. We talked about masculinity already. Go back and watch that. It's an amazing episode. Yeah. But if you don't do that, you lose rep. I saw one, we're going to go to Montay next. I saw when Soulja Boy, during that situation, apologized and said it's taken down and did a little heavy hand. So a lot of people respected it and a lot of people clowned for it. I'm like, but that could prevent violence.
Exactly.
Why are you clowning him for preventing violence? Because that could go left real quick.
Because peace is less entertaining than war.
And that's my point. I'm going to go to Montay and let his thoughts on it. Then I'm going to bring up something with Joe and let him go off on it because...
You know, Joe got a flow when it comes to certain things on the show.
No, it's just something I want to hear his opinion on. I'm going to bring it up in that pace too. So... Montay, what's your thoughts on accountability, hip-hop culture, entertainment culture? It don't have to be hip-hop. It don't have to just be black. Because I feel like some of these people, Pete Davidson look like he do drugs and people like to clown him and he might be going through something.
Shout out to Pete Davidson for smacking Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, so.
When it comes to like the hip-hop culture, entertainment culture in general, I say us as regular people, we tend to think of like we in a place where even though we can connect to so many people so quickly with a push of a button, I think we're more separated than we've ever been in human history. And when it comes to like the entertainment industry, a lot of times we tend to put them on different pedestals than we are. And we, like you said, we detach from them as though they're just like TV shows or they're over here, and we treat everything that happens to them or in their lives as, oh, well, it's not me. So, I don't really feel no connection towards that. Like when you brought up Young Dolph, God rest his soul, pray blessings for his family. I would say there were more people, just one example, there's probably more people that felt more of a connection to Anthony Johnson, who was Ezell in the movie Friday. There's probably more people that felt a connection to him passing away than Young Dolph, because more people were exposed to Anthony Johnson in their younger years and stuff, and they felt more of a connection to him just off the movie parts than another man with his entire career was put out there for music and things. And so it's just, we tend to, if we don't feel a connection to somebody in the entertainment industry, music industry, anything, when something happens to them or they pass away, we look at it, one swipe on the phone, almost like a TikTok. We're like, oh, dang, that happened? Dang, that's crazy. Swipe. That's pretty much all we go. That's like, if we don't have no connection, like, bro, all these people, famous people, whoever, pass away, but they don't get the same amount of tears or the same amount of love like somebody else do. Perfect example. When Kobe passed away, the world almost stopped for dang near a week, in multiple industries and everywhere. But another artist would say Young Dolph passes away. If you want to compare it to time, did he even get an hour? Just asking. And I mean, they're still both two people who gave their lives, towards their career, towards their work, towards their dreams. Those are both two men that deserve to be respected, that deserve to be honored, just because like they're just for them being good people and doing the best they could with everything they had in their hands. The world didn't care the same way though. And so that's an accountability that, everybody has to play a part in. Is like, okay, well, why didn't I show the same kind of love to one person I do to the other one? I need to show everybody love fairly and equally. And so I mean, that's one part of accountability that, for one, the world don't look at the same. Two, the entertainment industry don't put as much emphasis on everybody's name for obvious reasons. The more famous you are, the more notoriety you get for everything that you do and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I understand that. I mean, it is what it is. I understand what the hip-hop industry is like. I mean, I'm guilty of it myself, looking at somebody having a traumatic experience. Oh, dang, that's crazy, and swiping and keeping going with my life because I don't have that. I don't feel that connection to that person. Or they may just not be my favorite rapper. They may not be my favorite artist in this genre. Like did Robin Williams, when he passed away, God rest his soul, did he get as much notoriety, as much honor, as much, time stopping around the world as Chadwick Boseman did when he passed away? So, I mean, accountability is going to be more than just on us. It's more on the industry and everybody just deciding to pick and choose who they want to give their time and the effort to and trying to show honor and love for their loss of life. Or do they just get a 10-minute article on Google on the news today? So,
Montay point, like I said, some people transcend. So it don't. Hobie transcended. Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, he transcend. Some people transcended, others don't. Young Dolph, people would say, "Oh, he was a thug. He was a gangster. He did this. He did that." That's human life. He got a family. He got kids. We don't even know how much was what. We don't know what he did in his life. You don't really know him, but you still rather, instead of doing what Tori said and ignore it, you got something to say about it. You want to make your comment, make sure oh, he did this or he did that. Bro, people, that's somebody that love one.
I mean, even one more thought, because we said the word transcend, like that's something that starts to irk me a bit, because it's after a while that's where we lose our thought process when we think of a person that's transcended or gotten to a new level of notoriety and famousness. We forget that they're people, and we put them on this status of like a figure or almost like a deity, and I hate that, because when we forget that a person is a person, that is over with at that point. Once you forget that somebody's actually a person, you don't even think of them with human emotions. You don't consider them to have any kind of cares, any kind of concerns. You forget that they shed tears. You forget that they get stressed. You forget that they have lives they live. You forget they try to be healthy. You forget all that. Once you let them transcend in your mind that they aren't a person anymore, they're just something. That's it right there. So I already hate that song. Just once they've transcended, it's over with.
Montay, I agree with you, but that's the only way that a lot of these people can escape the black part. It's the only way you can get because I'm telling you, you can be just that's the black actor that did this, and you don't get no love, but you transcend and everybody love you. So everybody trying to fight. Everybody Montay, everybody in the community trying to fight to get to that level.
But see, that's the thing about it. Like, I understand that people in our community trying to fight to get to the level where their skin doesn't affect how much stuff that they're able to get exposed to. But there are maybe not everybody, but there are still some figures in the entertainment industry that still revel on the fact that they are an African American person, while hit that transcended level of notoriety. I mean, because there's some people like Michael Jackson is an example of you tend to forget that he's an African American period, but ain't nobody forgotten Denzel Washington is black. God knows ain't nobody forgotten that fact. So not every transcendent person tends to let go of their skin like that.
It's not about what you do though.
About public perception.
Yeah, the public perception is you don't think of that. You don't think of Denzel as the black actor Denzel. But you'll call
Denzel.
You remember Denzel, but Denzel is black. Like that doesn't leave your mind when it comes to him. Like there are some that you'll forget. Like you just forget their skin color entirely. Like I'll be willing to say at this point you just forgot Beyonce's skin color. Period. I'm willing to say that for some of these folks, but not all of them go to that.
But you be like Tyrese is famous, and Tyrese is the black. He's the black guy that cry movies. That's what we call Tyrese, and he's like one of the best singers of all time.
He's the black guy from Fast and Furious.
Yes, he's the black guy. He still ain't there yet.
But I'm literally wondering because they can go the same way for some people that aren't African American, that you also forget that they aren't African American. You just accept them. My question I'm wondering is what gets them to that point that
ultra
you forget.
fame.
I was like, why? No, man, like because it's a person's perception. What gets a person to that level to where okay, we just forget?
Montay, we gotta be accountable for that. We put them people up there.
That's what I meant to try to be accountable.
We lift them up.
What gets you to that? What is that?
And we want to get there, so we gotta be accountable because we put them so high that we gotta get there because we don't want other people to put us in that. Oh, those are black podcast people. We want to be those the dudes from over on 99.
Yeah,
but instead we like the black podcasters.
Yeah, like Mark Phillips and them, we just don't, even though they do blackety black skits, I don't look at them like just black dudes.
Is that on
podcast level? To me, I need $100 million.
I'm not gonna forget that because that's a part of who you are. So I'm not just gonna forget that. Oh, you're a famous person. I'm not gonna forget your skin color only because, like, to me, that's a part of who you are. That's your definition. That's who you are.
Montay, you black though, so you notice it. The overall majority of the country, Hispanic and white, most people they see Tyrese. We see Tyrese. We put everybody in the black. Tyrese is one of the best singers ever. White people, Hispanic people. That's the black dude from Fast and the Furious. Ludacris, black dude from Fast and the Furious.
No,
but is that a result of us? But is that a result of us not paying attention to like their skin color, or is that a result of just them not knowing their work?
No, I think it's a damn good. I think it's a damn good goal to hit, where people don't see your skin color. That's a damn good goal.
It is because that's the way society set up.
It helped OJ out.
I would hope.
We definitely don't acknowledge him as black.
We
exactly.
I'm not black. I'm OJ.
He's not black. He's OJ.
He was black during the trial, but after that,
forget that part. You ain't lying about that.
Hey,
we took
after
that.
OJ got away with putting down a white woman, he transcended.
Black people, even though he wouldn't do nothing to save no black people, black people saved OJ on the strength, and we gave him a 2-week pass to be black. Now go on, OJ. Now go on now.
So is it really? I mean, we got the fame and notoriety, but is it really a good thing to get to a point to where?
100% agree with you, Montay. I wish race wasn't in anything.
I'm asking. I ain't really saying it's good or bad. I'm literally trying to ask. Like,
I think it's amazing if race wasn't in nothing. I would be excited.
Amazingly.
I'm gonna tell you before my mom was before integration. She said on everything they never asked you if you were black or white until integration. Until slavery ended, you didn't even put it on a birth certificate. Then after that, you became colored. Then after the 60s, you became black, African American, so on and so on. So before slaves got free, it wasn't even a race thing.
It down, boy.
So that's my whole thing. Now, so people ask, why is it a thing? Because you put it on everything. Everything I ever signed, I got to put my race on.
Yep.
If I want insurance, I got to put my race. If I want a loan right now, I got to put my race on it, and I probably less chance if I put black to get. Matter of fact, I did a job thing. I didn't put my race. I said, do not want to disclose. I got a call from a job I applied to before, and they didn't call me. Like that's the advantage of not having race. I would love for that, but that's not a reaction to the people that want to believe that. It's like, why is race involved? We wish it wasn't. That would be amazing. Life would be so much better. I wouldn't have to fight as hard. Because you notice, the first thing you notice when you click on this podcast was, oh, they're black guys. That's what you're going to know. You tell me your first thought. Go in the comments right now. Tell me your first thought.
Let me throw this out here. There's two extremes, as far as black dudes not being considered black anymore. Like somehow, like Lil Uzi Vert, he's just Lil Uzi Vert. He's not a black. He's not some black guy. He's Lil Uzi Vert. Kodak Black, that he's black is in his name, and he's blackety black. He does blackety black things. He's got a felony.
I don't know.
They're not calling him some black guy. He's Kodak Black, and no emphasis on the black. I think most people say call him Kodak. I'm just saying that's two super duper opposites as far as how they look, but they still fit the traditional black person mold. Don't nobody do them like that. They are Kodak Black and they are Lil Uzi Vert.
So I have a question then.
What's that?
Okay. So now I think just in general, most people use like the advantages or like the uniqueness that comes with the stereotypes of their skin color, to sort of get noticed, to get famous, things like that. They use those little quirks, so to speak, to get themselves and make themselves individual, right? When it comes to like trying to make your name for yourself in the entertainment industry.
Agreed.
So my question would be, is it worth it, or like would you define it as a person is literally giving up their individuality for fame and fortune when you get to that level?
I think you gain individuality. You become Lil Uzi Vert. You become Ludacris. You become all these Dr. Dre. You become Dr. Dre. You're no longer held to being some black guy. You Kanye West. Nobody would sit there and be like, "Yo, look, that black guy rapping. He's Kanye West." You gain individuality.
That's a good one, man.
Let me go to opposite argument for Joe. Not that I even agree with this, but let me think about opposite argument. Do you gain individuality, or do you gain that transcendence?
Okay. I think you gain individuality. You don't become like a, you don't become like.
But my thing is, you become Ye. We don't know what Kanye is, but you become Ye. You become this persona. Soulja Boy right now is 100% that persona. He's probably that persona in real life. A lot of these people don't even know who they are because they have been consumed by Ye. And I'm using Ye just as an individual, that person who is transcended. Will Smith has become Will Smith. Will Smith, like, I'm sad. What he said in the podcast, Will Smith was saying on that show, I'm sad every day, but what you see, I put on the act as Will. Every time I do a YouTube video, I'm Will Smith.
30 years, though.
I'm Will Smith. But you don't see all that sadness that go behind it, but I'm Will Smith on TV. I got to always project Will Smith. So
not everybody. So not everybody, but in a way, Trevor's devil's advocate argument would be you're giving up your individuality for a persona.
Some people, yeah, some people would.
Yeah, not everybody, but some people eventually would give up their individuality for a persona. Like, no, I mean, it all depends. What are you willing to give up for fame? Not everybody. Some people still be themselves and be famous or whatever. But hey, the entertainment industry is a rough industry, bro. Sometimes you got to give up a lot to get that fame and fortune.
You become that person so much you don't even know who you are no more.
Oh God, man! That
lost in the sauce.
That literally happened to me during my football days. My name is Joseph Jones, but I was solo. That was my persona. I was solo. So fast on the field, it's like I'm by myself. And that carried into the lunchroom and the cafeteria. And that carried on to society sometimes. And that carried on to a lot of different places where I was solo, where I didn't have no business being solo. I needed to take it back to being Joseph. But it didn't happen like that. So in a lot of different ways, So I mean, even from just coming from
taking accountability for it though.
College, that is accountability. I will say that I did give into the persona of solo. I even and part of my therapy was breaking myself up into 3 different places and understanding where I was at. Like, yo, you being a little solo right now. You being more than anything. You need to scale it back to Joseph.
Go.
So so that's how I self-medicated myself, because I find myself being extra cocky to a female one day and be like, yo, that was unnecessary, and why is she walking away crying? And then another day it's like, nah, hold on, bro. You do need some of that confidence to go talk to this girl that you probably ain't got no business being with, but when you get with her, you need to be like Joseph. Yeah. So I hate I had to break into that, but yes, becoming a persona, that is definitely 100% a thing. So I'm with that. I'm with that.
I say not all of them,
sauce.
Now,
be mindful of getting lost in that sauce, boy. You'll lose yourself and become that persona in a heartbeat.
But my thing is, now we didn't get to that point. And accountability is on us, the audience, to realize that person is not that, not to hold them to that. Like, it's weird if Ye not Ye.
Exactly.
It's weird if Drake not Drake. If Drake ain't Champagne Poppy and he's up there being sad, like, that's not you. Logic, like certain
Gotta
rappers
stop
have to
telling
always
people who
be
they
sad
are.
in their songs, bro. Nobody liked the song. Like, bro, why are you not sad? People really wish some R&B singers would break up with their happy relationship just for the songs to be better.
Yeah. Praying for your
Man, that's
downfall
on
so
us.
we can get a new album.
Like, that's accountability
That's
on
on
us as people too.
Yeah, that's on us. We got the accountability for holding them to that standard of their persona and forgetting that they're a person.
Yeah, like, hey, you need to go break up with your happy husband right now that you love and give me some.
I need a new album.
We need some fire, because that last album was too happy for me and it wasn't as good. And I'm like, bro.
And I would actually go on to say this. I think somebody that's actually stayed true to himself when it comes to music and just growth, I'm going to go with Tyler, the Creator. It started off moshing and
buddy.
But you had some of those sweet, cool little bridgy songs that was cool. But also he said some edgy stuff. And then as his music progressed, he is where he is now. Tyler Baudelaire, whatever he is, you know what I'm saying? The smooth, chill guy making his own music. He stayed true to who he is in that moment instead of being stuck to being like flipping people off every day and saying F police and all that type of stuff.
Came a long way from Loiter Squad.
Came a long way from that and became and is who he is, and that's what he enjoys being. So I'm just saying there are some people that their persona and who they are grow together and they become what you see today too. So, but yeah, I definitely think that was a very good point about the whole getting lost in the persona part of it, or just getting lost in the sauce, if you will. Definitely it happens. We like. You just don't know how people gonna act when they get a certain amount of money. We talked about streamers. We had one episode about the streamers, and I'm gonna shut up. They had that one episode with the streamer that was wilding. But the thing is, like, you made a whole bunch of money and you think you cool now. You don't even know how to talk to girls properly because you never done it. But now you got money.
Yeah, he didn't even call himself his real name. He said he's I don't forget it. What's his name?
I don't remember. He was some angel hands or heavenly, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
heavenly controller.
Like, he's like, I'm heavenly. I'm like, bro, you are in a real life situation, bro. You are not heavenly no more.
Once they go into the third person, it's over.
Who I am? No. Don't do. I wish you had seen who I was. I really was just this super duper nerd. Now I got bread and I got a cool little car. You gonna talk to me? And now I actually get good hair care. So my dress was wild as hell because some chick down the street was doing it, but now I get the best kind of, you know what I'm saying? Money can't do that to your image, but deep down inside, money can't change that. And when some people get some money, they start acting outside themselves and you become heavenly. When nigga, your name is Anthony, my nigga. Don't forget your name is Anthony, bro.
Your mama call you Anthony. I'm gonna call you Anthony.
I was gonna say, I know your mama ain't call you heavenly. I know that's for sure.
I'm gonna end this with this. I want Joe to talk about this because I wanted to get to this, but we had another great point I want to get to, but we're gonna try to end this by about like an hour or so. But we had a recent case, the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And I feel like so many people looked at that. As I stated earlier,
go watch Joe's video on the Kyle Rittenhouse case because
he got two of them, so watch both of them. But so we ain't gonna try to spend too much time about. I want Joe's thoughts on this. Everybody watched it, and I brung up those movies earlier with the lawyers and stuff. I feel like so many people watch that as a movie and choose to root or boo. Yeah. We seeing this case on TV with real life people were harmed.
I watched the live stream as it happened.
Real life things happened. Bad things happened. It don't matter the situation or what's going on. Things happened. And however you, whatever, but things happened. And we felt like, and I felt like they was on TV and people would just sit there and root or cheer and not empathize. They would root for him to succeed in this case. It was like a sporting event. We was on teams.
Wholeheartedly. Kind of sick.
We're out here on teams. Think about how society done got, bro. Anytime a big case happens, it's like people on teams. We're on this side or this side. And people, family are sad. Okay, that person did that. Did his mama do it? Did his brothers or sisters do it? You are rooting for a man. You are online telling somebody they deserve. even care what your opinion is. It don't even matter. I'm gonna explain this to you. You are telling somebody's son deserved it because of what they did in the past. Like, I'm not gonna feel it. You know, like, I'm not. It's a real life situation. People are sad, and you're telling them they deserved it because you're rooting for somebody. Like, and it's gonna continue to happen. A 12-year-old got shot, and we're rooting or cheering for the police instead of being like, it's a parent without a 12-year-old. How many people actually sent messages to the mom or dad or something, wishing them something on social media instead of you typing about the case and rooting and cheering or booing or whatever. Like, the first thing we do is wrong. I don't like you. I hate you. Or you're in the right because you're on my side. I'm like, that is kind of sick. So I want to know Joe's thoughts on it. Everybody else can get in. We'll end this show. And we got to hold ourselves accountable for rooting or cheering. And we can feel, I'm not telling you don't feel how you feel, but I want you to understand and empathize first.
Well, I believe that. I believe that, especially in that situation, we do need to figure out what was wrong in that situation.
Yes.
So I'm not saying automatically, you know, you shouldn't be able to just choose how you feel about something. You need to see what happened and make a decision about what was wrong in that situation.
Empathize first. That's my point.
I can empathize for. I'm here. Just this what I'm looking at it. It turns into what the real divide here is not about the murder, which is the thing that should be the most important. Well, not murder, the people that were allegedly killed. My thing with that is the real problem is the divide that is why he was there. Some people say he had a right to be there, and with the gun, and he's doing what he's supposed to do as an American and protect. And then the other side is saying you ain't had no business being there because more people with guns and stuff are going to antagonize people, and they go and it already looks bad because it seems like you're somebody that's there just to be, you know what I'm saying, just to antagonize or add fuel to the fire and show that power that they may or may not have. But neither here nor there. But it just all comes down to, you know, if we just play that situation backwards, from the end all the way backwards, like we try and look at who is wrong, and I just, at the end of the day, it's easy for you to root, because I didn't root for him to have a guilty conviction of murder. I needed him to be held accountable for being there in the first place as a kid, as a 17.
Yeah,
and that's saddening to me.
So the one the judge dropped because they probably would have got that one.
That's saddening to me that there are people that age. What if you're 17 when that happened
without a gun license, 19, and that was the one he probably would have got hit with. But
when was you born? When was you born? And if you're 19, somebody do the math for me. I don't feel like doing that.
He would have been born in 2003.
2003, 2004. There's people that was born
somewhere in there
and became 1 and 2. And when you're in the year 2005, think about what was going on in 2005. The trap era and all that stuff was passing us by. By the time he's like 6 or 7 year old or 8 year old, he's playing probably Club Penguin or something at that point. All I'm saying is that wasn't that long ago. And nothing's happened for him to develop a hate for black
unless
people.
He was taught it.
So with that being said, that's scary to me, that there are the youth. I thought we was getting rid of this shit, but the youth are still holding on to it vastly. I may have gotten away from what your question was, but all I'm saying is this: it's getting down to the bottom of it. It allows you to pick a side, and it's hard because, like, even for Kyle's mom, she brought his ass over there. I can't empathize with you.
And she looks like Louis Anderson.
That's fair. And then as far as the people, we talk about how bad the people was, but that he shot, that they brought up their criminal history and all that stuff, which had nothing to do with anything.
At all.
But we can look at in that situation. I don't think they deserve to die for what they were doing out there that day, and nobody gets to decide that. And then also at the end of the day, he does have parents and brothers and sisters that don't look at him like that, and that's why we can empathize with them. Like I know if he went on a killing spree, maybe that's different. Maybe his parents feel a different way about it. I don't know, man. You know, it's like the defense lawyer said. Nobody wins in that situation. Period. Nobody did. Not even Kyle, because he got something on his head. Because it's the internet now. Everybody knows Kyle Rittenhouse. He can't go anywhere.
No one's forgetting.
Nobody's forgetting that. So that's where I'm at. I'm sorry if I didn't answer the question, but
y'all thoughts on the automatic rooting before anything even decided, just because you believe something or opposite?
Real quick, random bias is the downfall of society. It just is what it is. The Kyle Rittenhouse case should have been open and closed. Like I said, I watched him kill 3 people on a live stream as it happened. You know what I mean? And that seems to be completely lost. Like Joe said, we're so quick to bring up the past of the people that were killed. But if we're going to be completely honest, if it was all that bad, they should be on trial like Kyle was, not dead.
Montay, your thought?
I'm gonna be neutral when it comes to the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I know everybody has their own preconceived thoughts and notions about it.
Hard not to.
The only thing I would say is I want us, and I mean everybody, myself included, because I know when I first heard about it and looked at the trial, I thought probably like a lot of people thought, I was like, oh, you know, I see the charges getting lifted, I see the jury deliberating this. Oh, okay, they setting it up for, you know, another white person to get off of something that, you know, if it was a black person, they would never got off of this. This would have been open and shut and blah 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 blah.
Let me let y'all know that judge was biased 100%. That is not the case, but we ain't talking about that right now. But Montay, back to
in taking accountability for myself, I actually let me actually look at the case instead of like not just looking at, you know, the person on trial and what they did, and that's it. Like I know like a lot of people just end up doing like, okay, I just see part A and I see part C, but I don't see the B in between. So like let me actually see what the defense wants to argue, and then certain aspects of it is okay, they're arguing self-defense. Okay, what part of self-defense? Let me look at, oh well, one of the victims supposedly did not, like Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot him or like endanger him until the person who had their hands up took the gun that they had in their hand and actually pointed at him, and then he chose to shoot him to defend himself. Okay, that's actually one thing that would be plausible deniability, and that's all generally the defense tries to do in most cases, just bring up plausible deniability to where they can get away with it. It's okay in that aspect, just looking at the case without looking at the color of a person's skin, without looking at, you know, who got shot, anything of that nature, just looking at the case, does that make sense? And it's like, yeah, just in that aspect makes sense. And what I want everybody to do, not even talking about what you think about this case, not even talking about my own personal thoughts or anything, because I really don't have any, because I'm not trying to get involved in that. Just have the case for what it is. But I just want people to be, first and foremost, before looking at skin color, before looking at what you think about the person that's getting convicted or the person that's getting defended or anything, just try to look at all of the facts and everything first.
Yep. Before making a preconceived notion. And just try to see something for what it is and not for what we may want it to be or what we may believe it to be before seeing what it may actually be. That's all I say.
My thing
is saying like what I think he was guilty of, what it can be. Yeah, he's morally guilty because no matter what you look at, he took 3 lives. Anybody gonna try to deny that fact. Yeah. But just I want to look at everything neutrally before and I want everybody hopefully to be able to get to that point. Just like, let me just look at it before just following the river. You know, let me look at where it leads to first. Let me look at the end. Let me take a look at it first. That's all I want.
All I want everybody to do is take accountability in all these situations. When a life is gone, somebody loves them. Before you go on Twitter, somebody loves them. Before you say somebody deserved something, somebody loves them. They gonna see their whatever name, and they gonna see what you said. They gonna look at the situation. They gonna go online because everybody's online. They gonna see it. Just remember, somebody loved them. Mm-hmm. Are you perfect? Did you do everything right? And if somebody did something to you, would you want them to say the same thing? Sweep under your own front porch before you sweep in front of mine. Because something bad happened to you. Do you want somebody to say something bad and your mom to see it? Your brother, your sister, your daughter, your friends. Empathize. That's all I want. I want people to get back to empathizing. And basically, we might call this empathize episode, but basically taking accountability for empathizing, taking accountability for life,
accountability and understanding. There you go.
Yeah,
a little bit of empathy goes a long way.
Yeah, somebody's not here anymore, and somebody's gonna be affected by it, and we don't know how they're gonna be affected by it. It's the same thing I say when you tell a child they are bad. If you tell them they are bad, if you say it enough,
they're going to believe it.
They're going to stop being bad. I talk to kids in Chicago, they all don't believe. They firmly don't believe Montay. They going to live to 21. They firmly don't believe. So guess what they going to do, Montay? They going to go out there and be reckless. Why? Because everybody told them they ain't. So if I ain't going, if it's gonna end like that, I'm going out in a blaze of glory. Queen Latifah
set it off.
Hold on. All I know is this, and it is what people need to take notice of. There's a reason why Chief Keef is out there in LA playing video games on goddamn stream all the time. Leave it at that.
Yes, and
there's a reason he left the war.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end it off this because this is accountability too.
He took accountability for his hood and left. Went to LA where niggas can't get to him.
Yeah. The thing about the people in your neighborhood, the reason they do that, you can agree with Boosie right here. The reason they choose to do that is because you come from the same place they come from, but they ain't where you at. If I go to another hood right now and I'm a celebrity, everybody like, oh, he here. What's up, my guy? But if you go to your same neighborhood and you went to school with them and you had all the same opportunity, why you get that and I didn't? Why you in that spot? Joe, how you hosting fashion show? I can host fashion show. Joe.
Well, hold some accountability to yourself and go host.
That's what I'm saying. I can be on that show Joe doing. Joe funny and all, but I'm funnier than Joe. Montay up there doing 2 podcasts. Montay ain't that entertaining. I can do what Montay do. I remember him in school. Oh, Montay, Joe, how many times you get there? I remember what we did in school. That's what I'm saying. Accountability, man. It ain't they fault you not where you want to be, and they are. That's not on them. That's on you. And I want to talk about that a little more, but we got into some fun, a deep conversation. But yeah, that was what I want to talk about, in accountability in that Young Dolph situation and that Kyle Rittenhouse and about people in your hood and doing all that stuff. It's your fault that you not where you supposed to be, not theirs. And the only thing, as Boosie said, the only thing they could do when they that jealous and that hatred in them, they can't be friends with you no more. They can't get in your spot, so the only thing they can do is like, hey, I'm gonna take your life and get famous off of it. They gonna put my name on TV. And really they don't, and you gotta hold yourself accountable. So it's your fault. Get there. If you want to do something, go out there and do it. Don't sit there and be like, why are they doing? Young Dolph rapped. Did you ever try to rap? Probably not. If you did, you probably gave up quick. So that's all I want to say on accountability.
Yeah.
Montay, lead us out of here. Promo.
Representative of the Broke Good Dudes podcast back again. Come get at your boy on Instagram, Facebook, and on the podcast on YouTube. Glad to be a guest back on here again. all I got to say, man, just don't at me, just accept me, and don't love a persona so much that you forget the person behind it. Done.
Boom. That easy.
To the top left, we got the friend and local neighborhood scumbag.
You already know it. Afro Comedy 765 on all social media. Hold yourself accountable before you try to hold the world accountable. Enjoy life without making other people's lives suck. That's all.
And to my left, the co-host with the most, one of the best on the mic to do it, Unico, lead us out.
Fashion killer.
Man, y'all know what time it is. Your boy Unico Williams, man. I do a little bit of everything. We got the show back. Do you hear me? We out here popping it off. We got I stream some whatever I feel like streaming, whenever I feel like doing it. But hey man, whatever. And we have a little discussion in between time, and we just trying to see what we can do because you can stream too.
You're a better streamer than Joe. If you do podcast better than me, if you do whatever better than whatever, do it.
Hating on people from the same internet.
Yeah. Yo internet, I can make a promise right now. Yo internet better than mine. We out here, peace.
Peace.